Welcome to this 10-minute painting using just one brush. Hi, I'm Karen Rice. Welcome to my acrylic painting channel. I'm actually going to be using just 3 primary colours as well, blue, pink and yellow with just some white. So it's really nice and simple, suitable for beginners or those of you who would like to loosen up your painting, especially in preparation maybe for a bigger painting. So shall we get started? I've already got myself a little bit set up here. I've made a stay wet palette that will keep my acrylic paints in my palette from drying out. I'm using acrylic paper and it's already been primed. It's 14 by 10 inches and I've used some framing tape around the edge to create a really nice white border. For my 3 colours, I'm using Daler Rowney Kryler colours and I'm using cadmium yellow, primary cyan and primary magenta and some titanium white. And I'm using again, for another good challenge here, a 3/4 flat Daler Rowney brush. So it's all Daler Rowney today. So and I've got a recycled Indian tonic water little container there to clean my brushes as well, and some handy paper towel on standby. I'm going to time this for 10 minutes, but I won't include the blow drying time in between stages. The photograph is a gorgeous atmospheric photograph that I got from pexels.com. A link for that can be found in the description below, and also a link for a watercolour tutorial I did of the same painting. So let's just time it first. I'm going to use my flat brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to compose the picture to begin with. So I'm just going to use some white and yellow, lots of white, and just sort of paint the sky here, the sky area, use a bit of water as well. I'm going to buy a little stopwatch. I'm not going to be using my phone, but for this instance here, it's just useful. So I'm just going to paint a little bit of yellow as well here, like that, maybe a smidge of blue in there as well. And because it's in the photograph, it's a bit warmer, that colour. I'm going to mix the 3 primary colours together, lots more yellow in there, to get that sort of more, that's it, a little bit more of a muddier colour. There we are, sort of, and you can use your fingers to blend with as well. So I'm just coming over this side as well and just painting that colour in there. It's just nice to get the painting going before you actually start painting your bluebells in and things like that. So I always give my brush a really good rinse. Now I want to get some of that blue now and some of the yellow. So no pink this time, just those 2 colours together. Just going to squeeze out a little bit more yellow. It's a bit contaminated. I just want to make a really bright spring green colour. So here goes. I love painting fast. You probably gathered that from this. And I just want to make that colour now darker, a darker green, by just adding some of the pink and a little bit more of the blue. So you can make the colour darker. So you've got this really pale colour mid-tone and then darker tone. And I'm just sort of scrubbing that on like that. And that's pretty much my first stage, and I am a quarter of the way through, and I'm just going to pause and I'm going to give my painting a blow dry. Okay, I'm back and my painting is all blow dried, and I'm just going to start the clock again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint the background again, just to build up the painting. So I'm going to paint the sort of light of the sky again here, really getting that light through there, because what really attracted me about this painting was the light coming through here. So I'm just going to get a little bit more light through there, and you can do a little bit of blending as well, and just get some more of the green now, sort of different sorts of greens There we are, a little bit more yellow just here. Might need to squeeze out a little bit more yellow. You'll find you go through yellow so much because it's such a lighter colour. You just use so much of it. So just getting a touch more of this. Yeah, it's quite old, this paint, so it's a little bit stiff. But just getting a touch more of the sort of yellowy sort of green here. And now I'm going to use a little bit more of the blue and the yellow again. I tend not to add too much white to my greens. I like my greens to be all nice, quite warm looking. So I'm just sort of painting in some grasses there as well. I'm just wetting my brush a little bit there. Might need a bit more yellow. But just painting in that there, getting a few more darker greens in there as well. Just down here, all those marks for those grasses there. Get some darks in there. It's great actually just using 3 primary colours because you can just sort of focus on the painting as well. You don't have to worry too much. I'm going to give my brush a rinse and let my painting dry again. So I am going to start the clock again, and I wanted to just get a little bit more. Actually, my brush was a little bit wet there, so when you rinse your brush, make sure you take the excess water off because it can dilute your paint. So that's what just happened there. It's still diluting it. So I'm just gonna paint that like that. I'm going to keep this really, really loose. So I'm going to mix up the pink and the blue and the white to get some Bluebell colours. They won't be perfect Bluebell colours because I would say a warm blue would be better for this, but I'll see what I can come up with here. So I'm just going to put some marks on here like that. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the clock just to show you, and using a warmer blue gets you a better colour. So I'm going to use some Cobalt blue. It's a bit of cheating, but it's a shame not to get the right blue. The Cyan blue is lovely for making lovely spring greens, but you'll find that it's not so, as you can see, it's almost a bit muddy. Whereas the warm blue has more red in it, hence why it's a warmer blue. So it's ideal for making or painting Bluebell colours. So I'll start the clock again. Okay. And start mixing up my Bluebell colour. See, already that's a really lovely colour. I'll just mix that here actually. A little bit more. There. A touch more of that pink. A little bit more of that blue, just trying to get that right sort of shade. I love painting Bluebells. So let's just get some of those marks. I'm kind of keep it really sort of loose, a bit more blue I think to begin with. So these won't be an exact representation, but we'll see how we go. So I love just the way, the sort of shape, and it's so much better, isn't it, that blue? It's going to add a little bit more blue and maybe a bit of the cyan just to make it a bit darker in places. That sort of brings it to life. And put some more down here. I love this little bit here. Maybe add a touch of white now to that, maybe a touch of pink, a bit more white. Really kind of keeping that lovely and loose. A bit more pink, so get more of a violet colour there. You can see I'm being a real impressionist here. Right, so let's give that a rinse. Now the tricky bit is trying to paint stems with my flat brush here, but let's just see how we go. It's very dark, so I'm actually going to use the blue and the pink with a touch of the yellow and just try and get some sort of dark stems and just sort of print them in there like that. Just print or just pull down like that. It's quite effective. There we are. That worked quite well. Might just put a few more darker stems in there and maybe some lighter stems now just to have a bit of contrast there as well, and maybe a few lighter leaves. Got to sort of watch the time here. It's quite exciting though, just sort of having a go at doing something like this, really challenging yourself, challenging myself as well, but it's lots of fun. So just sort of getting some lights here. With acrylics you work dark to light, so that's what I'm trying to get here now, some really sort of lighter colours just to bring this to life. Really give my brush a good rinse there. I might give my painting one more blow dry. Okay, so I've got fresh water and a dried painting. I've got 1 minute and 45 seconds to try to bring this painting to life. And what I thought I'd do is I'm going to use the end of my tube of paint as well to make some marks for grasses and things like that. I thought that'd be quite nice to do. So it's not cheating, is it? So let's just mix up a little splodge of this yellow. Just get that on here with a little bit of the cyan blue. There we are. And I'm going to print that colour with my end of my paint, tube of paint here. That's not kind of working, so we'll just forget that one. So just going to add some water to that because that's sort of quite thick, and just paint in some marks there, some lighter green marks of grasses, really just using the tip of the brush. I'm just going to use some white paint as well, just to have some of those. And I thought, because you can really see the sun coming through, so I thought I'd just get a little bit of white on my finger there and just put that through here like that, and just blend that here like that, and maybe just wet my finger there and just sort of soften that there, so it looks like the sun sort of coming through, the sun rays. Maybe even get a splodge of yellow in there as well, just to really sort of bring that to life. 28 seconds, what can I do? I might just use a little bit more of the yellow here just to bring that to life there. And I think I always love to finish with a spatter, which is what I will do. I might spatter some green and, oh, the Bluebell colour. Oh, wonderful. Right, that's it. I feel like I'm on a game show, and yeah, lovely. You won't tell anyone if I just do one more little spatter just there. Lovely. Okay, that's my challenge. We'll just there we are. So that was quite fun actually. I'm just going to put all this to one side. So I'm just removing the last bit of tape here really carefully. Just tearing the paper slightly there. Oops. So here's my finished painting. I hope you enjoyed the 10-minute challenge of painting this. I've really learned something. I needed more time, but I've really learned that I can actually get something down, and it just sort of makes you really look at your subject, and it's a great way of warming up for a painting. So I really hope this inspires you to have a go at a challenge of painting something maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but it really does focus the mind, and it's a great way of loosening up, as I said. If you have any questions about this tutorial, please put them in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel where you will get updates of my latest videos. Thank you again for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.